Hello, this is Quilcene again, excuse me, and we are playing Subnautica, so let's get back to it. First of all, I wanted to reset my... I always like having these in a specific order. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll get number 5 later. Let's eat the cooked peeper. Let's drink some water. And then let's look at these. We found our lubricant blueprint. She's talked to us a few times, and now into the database. This is what I wanted to get to. Alright, so remember all that stuff we just scanned in the last episode? We get databank entries on many of them. Limestone outcrops. These unusual geological structures often form around titanium and copper deposits, and are distinct to this planet. Closer analysis reveals the stone around the metal has been hardened against erosion, which is odd because limestone's not hard, but anyway. But the mechanism remains unknown. Assessment, titanium and copper source. Fauna, bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless and bears little resemblance to the other life forms around it. Semi-permeable bladder. The bladderfish is able to filter air and seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane which surrounds its spine like a bladder. This allows it to remove and consume organic particulate caught on the way and adjust its buoyancy. Open-ended vascular tubing. Can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve low-velocity guided propulsion. Largely oblivious to threats and practically immobile at night. Its only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air, and cartilage. Assessment, edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. I've never had to do that, but it is possible when you eat a raw bladderfish underwater. You gain a little bit of oxygen. These bladderfish are only around our pod, though. We really don't need to do it. I guess you could take some deep with you and use them down there, but why? There's other better ways to get oxygen later. Membrane has applications as a natural water filter, which is what we've been using them for. So, alright. Peeper. A fast prey fish. Oh, I was going to say something else about this. Largely oblivious to threats. That's why we can catch them so easy. Practically immobile at night. That's why they're even easier to catch at nighttime. Plus they glow a little bit. This nice pink color makes them easier to see at night. Read all these like I just did when you're playing, because it gives you little tiny hints like this as to things' purposes, what they're good for, what they might be good for, etc. There's hints all through the text. So the text is important, which is why we say scan everything. Back to the peeper. A fast prey fish encountered in shallow waters and rich in protein. Capable of discerning colors not just in shallow waters but in a variety of lighting conditions. It's also able to close its eyelids, thus preventing light from reflecting off the lenses and rendering the peeper almost invisible to nighttime predators. Powerful fins. This species has evolved powerful fins which enable rapid acceleration in still water and the ability to leap meters into the air to avoid pursuers. And if you remember, we saw that in the last episode. We saw him jumping out there. The beak, likely used to break down corals and tough vegetation, an unusually large nasal cavity serves no obvious purpose and appears to be specifically evolved to detect a single specific enzyme. Nothing encountered on the planet so far produces a matching odor. Expulsion tubes. The tubes attached to the peeper's torso are connected directly to its stomach and gills, and appear to be designed to expel its contents on demand, purpose unclear. So if it consumes something, it can spit it out, I guess. While the peeper is well adapted to survive in shallow waters, a number of its features serve no discernible purpose. It would appear to be just as well suited to survive in deep waters, and somewhat more intelligent than the usual small herbivore. Assessment, edible, high calorie content. Further research required. Creepvine, a kelp species concentrated in large forests in shallow, sandy waters. Loose roots anchor the plant to the seafloor from where it grows steadily toward the surface in pursuit of sunlight. The stem is fibrous and rich in iron, making it both a viable base material for fabrication of textiles, as well as a basic foodstuff. Assessment, vital alien resource, edible and construction applications. Alright, creepvine seeds. Mature creepvine plants that have survived the predation of small herbivores produce these bioluminescent seed clusters. And right there, that says why we don't see them on every creepvine. Which may be knocked loose by currents or consumed and later deposited by predators. The embryo is surrounded by a thick oil and silicone layer, which would be dispersed into the ground as the outer skin deteriorated. This may provide the seedling with the nutrients it needs to survive the low light conditions on the seabed. Vital alien resource, construction applications. So there we go. That's what we've scanned so far. Alright, what are we pursuing right now? We have made a scanner, repair tool, flashlight, knife, habitat builder we're going to need, but I don't think we're ready for that. Oh, we need to repair stuff, don't we? We didn't repair stuff. So let's get out our repair tool. Ouch! And repair things. Magic.
Lifepod secondary systems online. Running full environment.
Online, offline. Radio is still offline because we haven't repaired it yet. Okay, we just got an environmental scan, so let's read that real quick. Geologic data. I need to turn. I can't read it against that background. There we go. Category 3 ocean planet, oxygen, nitrogen, atmosphere, extensive biodiversity, safety warnings may support Leviathan-class predators. Yikes. Water contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria. Of course it's foreign. We're on an alien planet. Planet is beyond Federation space. Rescue unlikely. It's not recommended to explore this environment without hazardous material suits and extensive support apparatus. Alright, let's go fix our radio. Alright. So it's broadcasting. We're letting people know we're out here.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
Alright, so I'm getting out my calculator here because I want to know how much 99,999 hours is. We're going to divide that by 24 hours. That gives us days. Divide that by 365 days. That gives us years. 11.41 years. Okay, so we're not going to be playing that long. We're going to have to get off this rock by ourselves, which I think we all already knew. Alright, open, grab. Always grab these because it doesn't regenerate one unless it's empty. So always grab those. I always just carry them with me or store them in one of the lockers. That's just the best way to do it. I don't need it right now, so I'm just going to hold on to it. Let's drink some of that. Alright. We are going to go out and get, what was I saying? I don't think we need anything right this moment. Let's just go out and collect some resources, right? Oh, bleach. This didn't... Hang on, where's the water? Yeah, see how low this blue line is? That's only 6 ounces of water we get from a bladderfish. We get 12 ounces from bleach. So this is going to give us more water per gulp than this one. So we want bleach, which is the coral tube sample and salt deposits. And I think didn't we already have a salt? No. I don't think it's in here either. No. Alright, let's store some of this surplus. Don't need the stocker tooth right now. Don't need the nutrient blocker to catch fish. Put those in here. I don't even need all the water
Caution.
right now.
Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.
Well, that's not good. Okay, so out we go, and we're going to go look for coral tubes. Conveniently, look right here. Oh, we haven't scanned this yet. Let's scan. Yeah. All we have to do is chop off some of this. So that we use our knife. 1, 2, 3. That's enough for right now. Now we need to go find some salt. Where did those kelp forests go? Over here. Often you can find salt. Oh, we have to scan this too. Scan everything. Don't want to go in there yet. We're looking for future food. We're looking for salt right now. There's some.
Oxygen.
Oh, don't forget, you have to breathe. Come on, faster. Ooh! And just so you know what happens there if you don't make it to the surface on time, is you slowly start to black out. Once it hits 0, you slowly start to black out. And then once it hits all dark, you die. So you still have a few seconds after it hits 0 to get back to the surface. What's that say? Cut creep vine with knife. Alright. That gave us something. New blueprint.
Acquired.
Okay, hang on. Going back up to get the blueprint. Oh, have we talked about these yet? Brain coral. Let's scan that. And if you notice, our air was filling up. That's because these things spit out bubbles. And remember what it said? Our suit is equipped, or our tank is equipped to take oxygen from the water. So we can just stand here all day long. So we're going to do that while we read about our old creep vine. Remember, we can't eat this. I'm not going to. It has other applications that I'm more worried about at the moment. I'm not hungry either. So we can create fiber mesh. And what's the other? Oh, a Pathfinder tool. You know what? I've never used this that I can recall. I might have made it once, maybe. I've never found it necessary. I don't get lost very easily, so we're not going to be making that. Or if I do make it, I'll make it so that you guys can see how it works. But other than that, I don't need it. Analysis confirms this wreckage is from the Aurora. Outer layers of the material have oxidized, suggesting it's been heated to over 1200 degrees Celsius. This pattern is consistent with full disintegration upon atmospheric entry. Salvage of intact portions of Altera vessels is prohibited at legal, moral, and technical levels. However, scraps such as these may be reclaimed for their titanium content at any Altera fabricator. Brain coral, a permanent growing colony of microscopic organisms. This coral species has adapted to filter carbon dioxide from the environment using the carbon to build the colony, and expelling the oxygen from specialized exhaust funnels. It is quite hardy, suggesting samples from a mature specimen could be grown artificially. And again, there's a little tip. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but you can grow stuff. Air tanks are equipped to siphon oxygen from the water where possible, like I just said. Giant coral tubes. The variety of coral formations on this planet appear to be different solutions to the same problem of maximizing water and nutrient flow throughout the colony. These particular variants funnel water down a large tube, filtering nutrients as they pass. Their size suggests they have been very successful. Assessment: coral tube samples are rich in calcium and exploitable in bleach fabrication.
Detecting increased foreign bacteria levels in the water. Performing a self-scan is advised.
Let's grab a couple of these while we're down here. Might need to make more batteries. That's what our light does for us, by the way. We don't need it at the moment, but Looking for salt. Ooh, what's that? Oh yeah, these guys. Got
New
them.
creature discovered.
Hoverfish. Came down here looking for salt.
30 seconds.
I'm not seeing it. I guess we got one, didn't we? Did I get one? Yes, salt deposit. So I have one salt deposit, so we can make some water. What do I have? Oh, cooked coverfish and cured. Firm, low-fat reptilian flesh. Yummy. Where's our base? I don't want to swim too far away. Yeah, I took your toy, sorry. Ooh. Oh, missed him. Got
New
him.
creature discovered.
Gotcha. Always need titanium. I am not seeing... Ah! In case you're wondering how I'm looking down but still going up, space bar makes you go up. I think it's X, or at least on my... I might have changed the key binding. X makes you go down, or one of those keys. I need more oxygen before I start exploring caves too much. Yep. Plus those guys are in there. Ow! I keep losing sight of my home. Whee! Okay, you see that signal that just appeared on the screen that looks like a radio? That's because it's a radio. That shows up every time you have a new radio message. So we're going to go back now. There I am. And hear what the radio has to say.
Receiving pre-recorded distress call, laying back.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Seriously.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Okay, so now I can cure fish because I've got that salt, but I don't want to cure them because I have, I want to make the water. Why can't I make water? Oh, I need to make the bleach first. Oh, see, there's our fiber mesh. So I make the bleach.
Bleach is an essential chemical
And by the
used
way,
for cleaning wounds
here, let's
and
do this.
purifying water.
Bleach is made up of the sodium, or the salt, and the coral tube sample. Coral tube sample takes up 1, salt takes up 1. But when I combine them together, it only takes up 1 spot. Similar to how the creepvine went from 4, or the creepvine seed cluster, down to 1 for the lubricant, or the rubber. It's a good way to save some space, is to compress things. It's a little management tip there. inventory management becomes an issue here, and it actually is going to start being an issue here shortly. Until we have our base, and then we will have no more inventory issues. Lots of titanium. Alright. Battery we can make. Yes, we like batteries. Yes, I don't want the ingot. Cook our food? Sure.
Consider disguising the flavor of unsavory meats with salt or locally sourced herbs and spices. Preparing the day's
Is she trying to tell me that
ration
that
ahead
fish
of
doesn't
time
taste very
will
good?
help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
Thank you. Good tip. Nothing new here. I could make another one of those, but I don't need it right this second. Alright, let's eat our fish. Protein-rich eyeballs, yum. Firm, low-fat reptilian flesh, ew. And never eat the antenna. Okay, I won't. And also notice, it split back into two. Remember, we had one bleach, but that gave us 2 waters. We were only getting 6 ounces of water per fish. Now we're getting 24 ounces of water per bleach. So, much more efficient to do it this way. So we probably won't catch very many bladderfish from now on, unless we can't find salt for some reason. There are plenty of coral tubes, so we don't need to worry about that. Consume, consume, consume. Save some space. Heal up from that blowing up fish. And I guess I can't do anything with this yet. Why not? Why can't I make... What was the fabric? Oh, I need 2 creep vine samples to make the fabric. Okay. So I'm going to just go drop this yucky one off because I don't want to take up my storage space. Leave the titanium here. Take the waters with me. There we go. See, and we're full. That's it. We're already out of room. Do we have any more space? Ooh, dark, glowy things. This world is also very gorgeous at night. Hard to see, but pretty. Where'd you go? Hard to do that at night. Here's my locker. This is where I was going. I don't want to pick it up. I want to open it. There we go. I think I want everything else. Let's go over here and drop that creep vine sample down. Where am I? Go up. Oh, yeah, we got that radio message, didn't we? Okay, so we had that radio message. Receiving pre-recorded distress call, playing back. This is Lifepod 3. Uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. So we now have a new beacon, and it's this Lifepod 3, which, get away from our Lifepod here for a second. Lifepod 3 is over in the shallows, so that means we can reach it. So what I do is when it's active, I turn it red. That means I haven't been there yet. After we're done with it, I'll turn it probably this light green color and turn it off. But for right now, we want it active because I haven't been there yet. Blueprints, 2 more. I don't want to go there at night because I don't know what's over there exactly. I don't remember that far back. Let's scan some stuff. There we go. Acid mushroom. What about you? Writhing... Oh, coral shell plate. Writhing reed. We can go upstairs and into our... upstairs, listen to me. We can go up to the Lifepod and read about this stuff. What's this thing? Blue palm. I'm not saying this is going to be 100% run through, because I can't guarantee that. Table coral. But I'm going to try to do as much as I can. Metal. Look at all these plants right around our house. How nice. Alright. Where'd my boat go? You swim faster when your hands are empty. FYI. Not fabricator. We're gonna read. Databank entries. Coral shell plate. This variant of coral has adapted to survive in close proximity to other corals.
Congratulations, survivor. You have exceeded your weekly exercise quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity. Be sure to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
Trust me, if I could, I would, lady. Alright. This variant of coral has adapted to survive in close proximity to other corals, filtering nutrients from the water and sharing them via a spore-like substance, which grows around the base. No practical applications, so we don't care about that one anymore. Table coral. Each disc is an individual colony of microorganisms filtering nutrients from the water. Growth patterns indicate the colonies are in direct competition for positions with superior current or light. Unlike other coral species, its structure is malleable, softly pulsating as it pumps nutrients to its extremities, and only turning rigid when it senses physical assault. The jewel-like nodes in the surface are concentrated buildups of rare minerals the coral is unable to process. Because of those rare minerals, it is exploitable in computer chip fabrication. So we will be dealing with table coral, I guess. Acid mushrooms. A common spare-boring fungi species, the flesh contains a highly acidic compound which leaches into the water if the outer skin is penetrated. It is not clear which predator species necessitated such extreme countermeasures, but the acid mushroom's numbers suggest it has successfully deterred most of them. Assessment: inedible. Yeah, we think it's got acid in it. But the acid has applications in battery fabrication. Oh, not these. Blue palm. The blue palm is a common aquatic plant which thrives in shallow waters with high exposure to sunlight. Long fronds intercept the light before it can reach the smaller flora on the seabed. Veined nettle, a common shallow water plant which frequently shows signs of predation around the edges of the leaves. Thick violet veins carry nutrients to the extremities of the fan, and brightly colored seeds grow around the base of the stem. We don't get a picture of the writhing lead, huh? Well adapted to both shallow waters and cave systems, this plant lives in symbiosis with the coral species, which forms around the base of the stems. Right. Got my exercise done for the week. My wife will be happy to hear that. Okay, is it daylight yet? Yes. Hey, Lifepod 3, where are you? Over there. Okay. We're heading in this general direction. We'll pick stuff up as we go. If we see anything. Oh, by the way, the table coral, you get it, you have to cut it, and then grab it. Just like that. This guy's already come out. Good. Keep an eye open for salt. Ooh. That is one large coral. Holy cow. Ooh, what's down here? Okay, so there's wreckage scattered all over the place. And oftentimes there are things in these little boxes that you can scan like that. Sea Glide fragment scanned, overall progress 50%. Let's go in here. Did I find this already?
Oxygen.
Oh, crud. Swim, 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 swim. Phew. That's better. I'm not going to pick up all this quartz right now because we don't need it at the moment. We'll come back for it later though, that's for sure.
Oxygen.
Any salt? Salt deposits often form right along these edges, I've noticed. Here's a new one. Sandstone outcrop. Gold. Lead, I think that is. We'll have to look at it when we get a chance. I'm not going to even pick up titanium right now.
Silver-based
Silver.
wiring kits are an essential component of many habitat modules. "30 seconds.
See, those stalker guys aren't super aggressive, but you do have to be careful around them, especially if you're holding something metal. They do like metal. There it is. Oh, it's right there. This one sunk to the bottom, so they're not alive. What's that? Oh, sea glide. Okay, so we're going to get our sea glide. There we go. New blueprint.
New blueprint acquired.
We'll look around for anything. Oh, salt. Anything else to scan around it? There's stuff inside, I think. But... Sorry, I'm grabbing stuff. Let me get some air and we'll go in. So you can see our base spray off in the distance there. 485 meters away. Ooh. Sorry, I keep getting that shiny object syndrome. Squirrel! Mobile vehicle bay fragment. Ooh, those are going to be... That's... I remember what that's for. Okay, good. That's useful. We're going to want that. Okay, where'd we go? There we are. Abandoned PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
Open data box. Oh, this is where we get a compass. Yay. Oh, blueprint for a compass.
New blueprint
Nice.
acquired.
Any other goodies around here? Salt. And by the way, if you're looking for salt... Oh, another mobile vehicle. I am not salty. Ha ha ha. So, if you like that kind of video, that's not me.
Oxygen.
Get away with the things from the surface.
Warning. Local radiation reading. Morris Drive core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will occur within 2 hours.
Well, that's not good at all. Oh, there's another one. There it is. I think that's our third piece, right? Yes. Okay, let's go back to the base and see what we can do with all this new stuff. That's always a little terrifying to hear in your ear. Roar! What's that? More silver. I'm going to grab one of these and take a couple of those. Okay, here's what happens if you scan something you already have a blueprint for. You get a couple of titanium for it, that's it. But titanium is titanium. And you always need... Oh, look what we're coming up to right here. I think, if my memory, or if my eyes did not deceive me, it looks like a wreck. A little bit of a wreck. And around wrecks are often things that you want to scan. Sea glide, but again, we already have it, so we'll just get titanium for that. That's not good. I'm full. Ah! I want to come back and get all this. Oh, look, good stuff. Oh, this I can scan, because it won't give me anything but a blueprint. Trash can! Woohoo! Grav trap fragment. Now I gotta get 2 of those, okay. So another one around here. Beacon fragment. Beacons are useful. That's a beacon over there. That shows us a direction that we might want to go in. So when we create beacons, we can put them anywhere and always find our way back to something. Like if I had one right now, I'd put it over this and just go home and come back and look later. But I don't want to lose this, and I'm not trusting my memory. I can't get that one. So I want to make sure I've scanned everything I can before I leave. I think I have. Okay. I think we're done with that one. Whoa. Oh, that's not good. That's lava. Here, I'll show you what happens. That's going to come up. Ouch. Oh, I'm not deep enough for it to hurt yet. But anyway, that's lava. It heats this water up, and this becomes a really good place to put a base because you've got unlimited power right there. Let's put that away. Oh, put that away. It'll be nice to get that compass because then we could have gotten a directional heading of where to go. But instead, I'm just going to get a visual. So when I'm looking at my base, that's off to the left a little bit. That's going to be tricky. Well, hopefully we can find our way back here. And yes, I do remember about the data download that I got at the other Lifepod, but we'll listen to it when we're back on the pod. Life Raft. Actually, I lied. We'll listen to it in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Until soon. If you enjoyed the stream, or the recording, I'm not streaming, this is a recording. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Scene Streams. Thank you very much. See you soon.